This is pattern and practice for Republicans, and it has been for decades. For racists and white supremacists and anti-black haters, this is the tool that's used. This is the weapon, the cudgel. There seems to be a cast of characters that surround Donald Trump that once were opposed to Donald Trump. When they thought he was a flash in the pan, they were against him. They correctly identified what the problem would be. People like Marco Rubio, people like Lindsey Graham talking about we're going to lose our party and we'll deserve it if we do. Lindsey Graham said that. Marco Rubio's called him a con artist, and Ted Cruz has called him a sniveling coward. They nailed it with Donald Trump early on. Scott Jennings, let's not forget J.D. Vance, who called him America's Hitler and then signed up to be the vice president of America's Hitler. What's that make J.D. Vance? Other than an untrustworthy simp. Scott Jennings is another one of these characters who was a pretty vocal Trump critic in the beginning, but he saw the writing on the wall, saw that Donald Trump wasn't going anywhere. Donald Trump had hijacked the party. So rather than stand on principle, rather than stand on an ideological North Star, rather than have an ingrained ethos on how to behave and think about politics and human rights and decency and the Constitution and freedom and liberty and all of these buzzwords. Rather than that, he stepped in line. Rather than that, he stretched his neck out for the boot of Donald Trump and tyranny in the United States. He leaned into the worst impulses within him about racism and bigotry and hatred. He's a ghoul, to be sure. Now he's in and out of the White House, getting his book signed by Donald Trump, promoting, trying to get as much of a cash grab going as he can. But what would you expect for a guy who worked for Mitch McConnell? He has no integrity whatsoever, and he's a vile, sickening racist who attacks almost exclusively the black folks who appear with him on Abby Phillip's show on CNN. And he did it again last night, attacking a black guy for his intelligence. This is an IQ test. Don't fail it, black man. It's just, they follow orders. This is the way to behave. This is the way forward. It's just to diminish the intelligence of black people in the minds of Americans. And he's signaling to MAGA, this is who he is. It's to agree with and have nothing cross to say about the erasure of black contributions to this country, whether it be military service, scientific contributions, cultural contributions, medical contributions, and they are legion. What black folks have done for this country is immeasurable. This is why, I'm going to hear YouTube videos click off all over the world right now, I am fully in support of reparations for descendants of enslaved individuals in this country. And I've done videos about it, and you can search for those. Search Dollemore reparations, and I'll lay out the case. I believe an inarguable case. But this is where we are in America with the Republican Party, that this kind of talk, this kind of direct talk to an individual within literal striking distance, he feels so comfortable that he's not going to get knocked the fuck out by this panelist because the guy is a good and decent man. He apparently is far more good and decent than I would probably behave in this. And this is what Scott Jennings said about the IQ test. Keep in mind, they're talking about the Epstein files and Donald Trump's involvement in the Epstein files. And with everything we know, and with all of the obstruction and all of the Donald Trump fighting to have them released, and then all of a sudden, okay, yeah, you can vote for it. But we see what's going on. If it's an IQ test, fucking Scott Jennings, you failed, brother.
Who is trying to obfuscate or diminish what's actually going on here. And again, Scott, you keep saying, well, he didn't do anything. There's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these things out.
If that's true, it is true. Can you name any evidence?
I would like to see the evidence. What I'm saying is,
you think after 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't.
No,
That's exactly the point.
Oh my goodness,
Scott,
is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on, man.
Scott, that's
10 years Donald Trump has been in public life.
That's embarrassing.
Come on.
Scott, it is an IQ test. I mean, for 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously, Larry Summers was involved. Stacey Plaskett was involved. There's all kinds of people involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
If someone was involved, we would know about it. They would be prosecuted. It would be done and dusted. The last 10 years, no one has been prosecuted for this. Is that a sign that nothing has happened?
No, absolutely not.
So then why are you saying that is the case for
My
Trump?
question directly to him is, if you think after 10 years, 3 presidential campaigns, and Democrats unleashing holy hell on him, you wouldn't know about it?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Biden's DOJ did everything.
Now, again, good and decent, recipient of the insults. This is pattern and practice for Republicans, and it has been for decades. For racists and white supremacists and anti-black haters, this is the tool that's used. This is the weapon, the cudgel against just the visage of a black person. They're not intelligent. Read all of the non-scientific literature and books written on the matter, the bell curve that's been absolutely debunked, and all of this racializing of IQ and race science. These are Nazi talking points. These are white power movement talking points that are being disseminated on CNN, on a black woman's show. And luckily, I mean, she was there to step in a little bit. But luckily, a guy named Josh Doss, I don't know who Josh is. I don't know what he does. Like, I only have so much bandwidth to watch so much content and to see the contributions from people in the arena of ideas that we currently have. So let me tell you, I'm going to be seeking Josh Doss out more now. I'm going to see what he has to say, because he came to the defense of his fellow panelist. This is what he said, because he understands what just happened. He understands the coded, if not really coded at all, language that was used by Scott Jennings, the weapon, the IQ test bullshit that was just done. And he calls him out for it.
Just know what's going on. Let me let Josh get a word, and then you can.
Just real quick, I just want to bring it back to something that just happened. I feel like I just heard Scott call into question this black man's intelligence with the IQ test.
That's what you heard.
I feel like I heard that. And so I just want to say something. This is what it sounded like.
You want to make it racial, go ahead, but it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I think that
by the way, we know each other and we're friends. I know this man. He's a smart guy, and we're having a debate. We're having a debate. Don't make it into so we don't even know each other, but we do.
This actually relates.
If that's how he treats his friends, boy, I'd hate to. I am an enemy of Scott Jennings, so I'd love to see how he would treat me. Again, this is one of the reasons I won't be invited on to CNN. Look, from all the way back since the Emancipation Proclamation, I'm sure hundreds of years before that, there has been calling into question the intelligence of black folks. That's why there were civics tests that would be given and that were all worded in a way that you couldn't really understand what the language was trying to get to and what the answer should be. And no matter what answer was given, they would fail and then they couldn't vote. They were putting extra constitutional requirements on suffrage, on the right to vote. And this is just another element of that. For a guy who worked for Mitch McConnell, who proudly stood in front of Confederate flags, it's just racism, white supremacy. This is white power taking root again in the United States. And maybe it never left. Maybe it's not taking root again, but the roots are deepening and strengthening because of this new rule of the Republican Party. It's becoming normalized. Things that used to be said in quiet, in whispers, in secret meetings where these fucking cowards wore their hoods, now is said on CNN. Unabashed, unashamed. Scott Jennings, the white supremacist POS. If there was an IQ test, Scotty, you'd fail. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. I believe is an important one. We can have it in the comments below the video. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Listen, As the Groyper movement, the Nick Fuentes wing of the Republican Party grows strength, the Tucker Carlson wing of the Republican Party gains steam, Scott Jennings has made his choice. He has chosen his team. And it's not the Lindsey Graham, as he said it, Hitler sucks wing of the Republican Party. It's the Hitler's great wing. Good job, Scott. I hope your mom is proud. I'll see you next time. I love and appreciate you very much. Be genuine. Take care of one another.